Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? Good evening. Happy Monday. Or is it? Now, I am your host, Janice Carter Miller. Let me just start off with the formalities because I'm a little worked up today after watching everything that has transpired over the last week, over the weekend. And actually, that has been really going on for the past 10 years in our lives, in a Black American's life. Okay. So, my question to you is, are you paying attention? That's all I want to know. And today I don't have a guest. You are my guest. And if you want to come on and put a comment in the chat box and speak to me on some of these issues that I'm going to bring up today, because they are issues concerning our livelihood, our way of life as we know it, our survival as a people. Okay. It's not so much, Roe versus Wade is major. Okay. Because it set a precedent. It was a law that was put into effect over 50 years ago that now has been wiped away. You understand what I'm saying? Just wiped away. Any rights that came along with that, gone. So now, when I say, are you paying attention? Do you know that we're this close to possibly losing some of our rights if this Congress that we have has their way? Because we're stuck. We got an even split, but we've got a Supreme Court that's on their side. Do you understand that? Do you understand what this means for the Civil Rights Act? You know, they talk about this Second Amendment. Second Amendment, let's talk about 13th, 14th, and 15th. I'll start here. On Saturday, I was watching Tiffany's show on MSNBC. I watch it on Saturday mornings. My husband watches it. Sometimes I watch it. But this Saturday, I've been watching more MSNBC than I have of late. Because, you know, the little orange fella, he kind of burnt me out. And then MSNBC just kept talking about him, keeps mentioning his name, keeps breathing life into that monster. He is the Antichrist. Let's make certain of that. We are in a fight. I don't know if you all know it, but we are in a fight, a moral fight against good and evil, a fact fight against right and wrong, true, untrue. What's the truth? What's a lie? Okay, so we need to pay attention. I mean, to even the smallest minute details about things, laws, policies that are going on around us. So if I'm hoping somebody's going to talk to me, it looks like this program, this software that I use gets my chats from Facebook. I'm going to reach over here to my Jantastic page on YouTube and see what's happening over there. But I want to know how you're feeling about it. What, if you're paying attention, what is it that you're noticing? Because I'm noticing they're getting mighty close. You know, that movie Back to the Future? No, we're going forward to the past. You feel me? We are going forward, hear me, to the past. They're taking 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. We're getting real close to Jim Crow and Reconstruction. We're getting real close to, like, the civil rights movement didn't even happen to get our rights in the 60s. Okay. On top of voter suppression, don't want us to vote, They don't want us to do anything. They don't want us to have good health care. They don't want us to live in your neighborhood. And we need to, if you watched last night, if you watched the BET Awards, yes, and Mr. Sean Puff Diddy Combs used his platform to say, we're in a fight. You got to have some skin in the game. Whether you think you've got skin in the game or not, your skin is in this game. And the only way that we win is that everybody with this skin who's in this game gets in the game. You can't keep your mouth closed. You got to speak up, speak out, speak truth to power. You got to vote. You got to understand what voting does. It's 10 more years before we'll have, or 8 more years before we have another census. So if you didn't participate in the census, everything that's going on now is reflective of that. So are you paying attention to what's happening? You just think it's a bunch of white folks up in Congress making laws and they have nothing to do with you. You are greatly mistaken. You are greatly and gravely mistaken. So my question to you today, if anybody's listening, is, are you paying attention? So now let me see how much I'm going to be able to navigate, checking out who's on what, who's on first, who's on second, because this show ain't the Three Stooges, but they trying to play us like it's the Three Stooges. Who's on what? Who's on first, who's on second, okay, because this show ain't the Three Stooges. All this down, okay. So I've got my Jantastic live chat up on my cell phone. So if somebody wants to come and talk to me on that live chat, I've even got my YouTube chat up. Just hold on a minute, because I'm going to be doing some strange things. I've never done this before, but I'm doing this live so that you can talk to me. I don't have a guest. You are my guest. And all I want you to do for me is answer the question. Are you paying attention? Do you see what's going on? Do you really see what's going on? Are you watching the news? Are you reading the paper? Do you see what's going on and how it affects Black folks? You know, because we're in a sad state of affairs. You know, this is not France. This is not the United States of the states that are not united in America. We are not united. You know, they just made a mockery of that word, united. We are not united. So somebody let me know that you're watching and talk to me. Ask me a question. Tell me your viewpoint. I'm going over here to see if maybe somebody's on YouTube. Just hold on so I can see what's happening over here. Okay. Okay. I'm still here. I'm trying to figure out how I get to what it is that I want over here on YouTube. Okay, it's not happening. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Now I've got the chat. I got the chat room up over on all right. Okay, here we go. Now I've got the chat on YouTube. The chat room up over on all right. Okay, here we go. Now I've got the chat on the chat room up over on all right. Okay, here we go. Now I've got the chat So I'm going to keep having this. Let me stop this. So I'm going to keep having this. Let me stop that. Okay, this makes too much noise. Okay, so let's go back. Let's start with the beginning of last week. That the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. Now, the thing about that is, if you've heard this word being used a lot of times when people go to court, a precedent. That means there's something that's been set in place and they follow anything coming after that in a manner that's similarly related. They relate to what is precedent, a law that's already there, that has come before, preceded, precedent. Okay. So for the last 50 years, Roe versus Wade was the law of the land. That women that were raped could get an abortion. Women that were victims of incest. You don't know what incest is? Incest is when someone in your family, like your father or your brother, has intimate relations with the female, the sister. Okay. It could be the mother and the son. Incest is incest. Interfamily relationships, that's incest. If a woman becomes pregnant through incest, she was able to have an abortion. Now there are cases where just the other day, there was a woman who had flown to Spain, and she flew to Spain because her placenta had pulled away from the wall of her uterus. And if she didn't have an abortion, she would die. So in case of death for a woman, that she has some type of health situation, that if she doesn't have an abortion, she could die. Over the last 50 years, that was possible. All those things are no longer possible. Somebody rape you, you get pregnant, they don't want you to have an abortion. They want to protect the unborn child, no matter how conceived. You know, some people have very strong opinions about this. It's another way that, you know, since we've had a justice system in this country, that white men have been making decisions for everyone else. They're making decisions for women. The women are in a uproar. Once again, men are telling women what to do with their body. Don't know how that came about, but because they were in power, they've used this power. That's another source of oppression. So the Supreme Court has taken sides. The Supreme Court has stepped out to alleviate, to roll back laws that have had precedent in our country for women, for Black folks, for women over the past 50 years. No more Roe versus Wade. You don't have any cover. If you need an abortion now, they want to lock up people if they try to even help you get someplace to get an abortion. This is deep. But this is not the deepest part of this conversation to me. The deepest part of the conversation is, okay, number 2, we got Roe versus Wade. That's just one. Last week we rolled out, it was like new movies. You know, the first movie was Roe versus Wade. came out Friday, Saturday. The restrictive gun laws in the state of New York, where everyone can carry a concealed weapon, they were rolled back. They said they were too restrictive. The laws were too restrictive. Now we're getting ready to deal with the Wild Wild West. Now they say they want civil war. The white supremacists want civil war. I don't know why, because black folks got guns now, just as well. And black folks know that they need guns now. I never thought I'd get to this place where we say, well, we got guns. We got guns. Know how to use them. We'll protect ourselves. Okay. But now the laws of the land give us no cover. That goes back to number 3. That this gentleman that was on Tiffany's, the cross is called Cross Connections on MSNBC. And he was talking about the gun laws that were rolled back, but what the 13th, 14th, and 15th amendments mean to black people, why they were put in place in the first place. Well, number one, when we get to police brutality, number one, the police already have qualified immunity. Qualified immunity. That means, they really have cover from being prosecuted, even though nowadays, because they have videos and people can see the blatantness of police officers violating someone's civil rights by taking their lives on live TV, on a video camera. Always the three code phrases. I feared for my life. He was reaching for my gun. He was reaching for the taser, but they running away from them at the same time. But they have qualified immunity. And if you don't know what the 13th Amendment is, let me see if I can help you. I'm going to read this to you. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can do this right. Okay, so I got to share it with you on my screen. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to share the 13th Amendment. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, and I will read it to you because we need to kind of know just what it says. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Did y'all hear that? Okay, that's the 13th Amendment. So the 13th Amendment was created so that the law of the land, the police of the land, could not take advantage to oppress or suppress blacks who had just come out of slavery. Supposed to. So now, if you're watching me and you want to talk to me, I'd love for you to go to the chat room, because all I want to know is, are you paying attention? And this is probably a show where I'm finding out how much attention you're paying to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But I'm going to have this conversation, even if it's just in the ether and somebody by chance picks it up and hears what's going on, hear what I have to say about the state and the livelihood of Black Americans, because we're in a bad situation. So let me go to last night. the 2022 BET Awards, where I was very proud of Sean Combs, who received a Lifetime Achievement Award, that he used his platform to give a call to action to Black folks, young Black folks. Y'all better be listening. You better be paying attention, because the things that are happening right now will affect you, your children, and your children's children. Okay? It was time to get in the fight. We've been in the fight, but once again, it's time to get up, dust yourself off, go put your fatigues on, whatever you need to do. It is time to get into the fight on a political level, on a policy level. It is time for your voice to be heard. If it's marching, if it's signing petitions, if it's showing up at those meetings where your voice needs to be heard, it's time. But you won't know it's time if you're not paying attention. I don't know if we're paying attention. I must say to the Democrats, you got to stop going to the fight with a butter knife. You know, you don't fight like you're trying to win. You're fighting trying to be politically correct and diplomatic. You're not fighting to win for us. I can understand why AOC gets pissed off. You are not fighting the fight. You are walking the walk, but you are not. You're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. I've been upset with Democrats for a long time because you keep going to a gunfight with a butter knife. Nobody's thinking about you. They know what you're going to do. They know you want to be correct. That's a party of people. That's a party of people that largely represents Black folks. But Black folks, we got to represent ourselves. We got to stand up, speak up, and stand for something. Especially these changes that they're trying to make. They're trying to roll back all the strides that we made in the 60s. They're trying to roll back laws that have supposed to have set precedent. I see no one's talking to me, so that's disheartening. Maybe you don't have an opinion. I do. I thought I'd share mine with you today. And it does not matter to me if nobody's talking, if nobody's watching. But when you see this, whenever you see this, ask yourself, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Let me go back over here to my... Oh, somebody's paying attention. Who's paying attention? David Crawford, thank you very much, sir. I'm glad to know you're paying attention. Because, we could be, we are in a fight, as I said before, for our survival, for our way of life. Puff said something. He says, we're going to move on your street. We're going to make millions and millions of dollars because Black people are creative. We make something out of nothing. Look, we came over here. We didn't know anything about America. We came over here and we made lemonade on the stand. Grow the lemons. Yes, we made lemonade. So if you're not paying attention, somebody's trying to take all these opportunities or all these strides that we've made. They're trying to take them away from us. Policymakers, Congress, your mayors, your governors, the people running for attorney general in Kentucky. You know, just when you think you're someplace where it's safe to exhale, you better take a deep breath. Go find you some boxing gloves. Go get you some marching boots. And whenever somebody says there's a meeting somewhere, you need to be there. You need to make time. We don't make time for things other than social and having fun. This is not fun. And when they take some of your rights from you, you'll find out that it's not fun. What you saying to me, baby? All right, you better be paying attention. You know, it's just, it's very disheartening. Just day after day, it was bad news, worse news. And all I want to know is, are we paying attention to the news? Or are we caught up in so-and-so thinks she's cute, somebody got a better job than me, you know, somebody got a better car than me, somebody's living high on the hog, getting to do things I sure wish I could do. You know, these are just our basic freedoms that we fought for centuries now. And we're still almost like we stood in place and we went forward to the past. We moved forward because years and time passed on, moved on up. But it showed right now we right back where we were. Are you paying attention? You know, it's a sad state of affairs when we don't pay attention. Because you can't get in the fight if you don't know what the fight's about. You heard me? And you can't, and if you don't get in the fight, you don't know who's going to win. You can only know who's going to win once you're in the fight. When you're fighting, when the fight's over, then you'll see who the winner is going to be. That's just like when y'all thought 2020 and you thought you were voting for Hillary, and they had already set it up that Hillary wasn't in. And we got this antichrist who just made hate popular. Put it on Front Street. Hate against Black folks popular. Hate against the haves they have, and the have-nots, the rich and the poor. It became all of that. The truth and a lie, once again. We can go through the whole quadrum of similarities, hate, love. You know, I feel like Roberta Flack. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Because we got plenty of hate. And it's festering. And it's growing day by day. Kindness. You know, brotherly love. What is that? We don't have brotherly love in our own race. That's why our kids are killing each other. It's really heartbreaking to have this conversation. My brother here, David, is hanging in there with me, and I appreciate that. You know, but it's heartbreaking to know that when I was 18 years old and marching for open housing, that the laws that I thought I was standing up for, the laws that my brother thought he was standing up for. This is 2022, and they trying to roll back the clock. They are rolling back the clock, y'all. So again, my question, are you paying attention? I think it's quite serious. I would hope some of you take it as seriously as I take it, because I just want to see us do well. What's up, LaRue? You know, I just want Black people just want the same things any other race of people want. They want to raise their children. They want to make a decent living. They want to have decent health care. They want to live in a decent house, in a decent neighborhood. They want to be able to walk the streets, to walk their dog, drive their car, go to the grocery store like anybody else. Like anybody else. But people, the hate is there. When you walk out of the house, the hate is there. The hate is there when somebody's flipping you off and you're driving in your car. The hate is there. We need to pay attention to what's going on and find out how we can play a part to make things better, not just for ourselves, but a whole race of people called us. Like they say, justice, we say just us. It's just us. We don't get justice. It's just us. There's I don't know what to say to you to make you understand this is real. You thought that they were running out of baby formula. You wait till they start running out of food. And you don't have something to eat to feed your family. It's always when it happens to you, then you maybe start paying attention. You watch this war in Ukraine, 60 Minutes the other night about these cyber things where these people have been attacked by microwaves, which are invisible, like when you nuke your food, the waves in the microwave that nuke your food, people are using those to penetrate or attack human beings in this United States. Now, we don't know. They don't know Russia. They don't know if it's China. But there are a lot of things coming at us from a lot of different ways. There's still got Putin, who can shut down the power grid at a moment's notice. Don't think you can. That means your lights won't be on, your water won't be on, you can't flush your toilets, you can't fix your coffee in the morning, you can't watch TV. Forget that. Forget the internet. Are you paying attention? I put on my hat today because I was going to go a lot of different places and wear a lot of different hats. But it was just a conversation that I felt a need to have. And I appreciate those that tuned in to and participated. What did you say to me? Who said, tell it like it is, JC. Yeah, well, it's disheartening because things are happening around us at warp speed, and we can't be left behind. We have to stay on top of this. That's why I say, are you paying attention? So if you are paying attention and you know somebody that's not paying attention, you need to pull their coattails. You need to show up, stand up, prepare for this fight. We are in the fight. We're already in the fight. If you're just now showing up, right now is the time. Show up today. Make a promise to yourself that you're in the fight. Because they are trying to literally roll back all of the laws that we've had the privilege of thinking that we had privilege of enjoying a something that's similar to a decent lifestyle. But they don't want us to have that. They don't want to teach the truth. The truth has become a lie now, or the lie has become the truth, because stealing the election was a lie. But if you say it enough, it can become the truth. You know, when all that started to happen, I told my husband, I said, did they not hear the story about the Pied Piper? The rats died from following the Pied Piper. The rats died. So everyone within the sound of my voice, all I can say is you need to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to pay attention, to get involved, because we are in a fight for our survival. And on that note, on this Monday afternoon, and my sister-in-law just beeped in, now is the time to join the fight for our rights. Absolutely, Miss Teresa. Thank you. You know, I wanted people to talk to me today. Some people do live things on Facebook, and I don't usually do an interactive type of show, but I thought I'd try it. Maybe it doesn't work for me, but I'm glad I did it. I wanted to do it because I had something else to say other than introducing you to some fabulous guest. I'm concerned about the state of Black America. I'm concerned about my fellow brothers and sisters. So we have to pay attention. We have to get busy. There is a fight going on for our survival, for our livelihood, for our health, the environment, everything that they talk about. If you think it does not affect you, please hear me. It's affecting you. You live in Louisville, Kentucky. You breathe this bad air. They call it Kentucky crud. Got a name for it. Absolutely horrendous. Why? Factories that send off emissions that filter the air and we breathe it. The people in the West End have been dying from cancer for over 100 years, however long we got to live down there. So we moved down in the West in the 60s. Urban renewal, urban removal. Somebody didn't want to hear what I was saying. Stop that. Okay, so maybe we're back. Okay, this makes too much noise. Okay. I started to say, you know, somebody maybe didn't want to hear what I was saying, coming here messing with my show. The nerve. But anyway, Teresa, David, LaRue, I am so glad that you all tuned in. So like I said, tell somebody to tell somebody that they need to pay attention. On that note, it's dinner time. Guess who's coming to dinner? Bon appetit. Have a blessed evening. I hope I said something that made sense to you. Made you think about it. So I'll see you on Friday. I'll probably play this again Friday, but I won't be looking for no live chat. I think I have to do this another way. I'm going to try a different way that I don't use my StreamYard. Or I just don't do it as guess who's coming to dinner. I just have to get on Facebook and rant. Just holler like a crazy Black woman. But I'm not crazy. Because it's truth. I know the difference between the truth and the lie, right and wrong, good and bad. Our country has lost sight of that. It's just depending on where you get your information. Bon appetit. Have a good evening. Go.